Hey guys, welcome to our channel Uniplex. Guys, in today's video we will be showing 6 train collision moments caught on cameras, which have caused significant financial loss to people. And some individuals luckily escaped from nearby deaths. So, without wasting any more time, let's start today's video. Cibolo, Texas is a small city northeast of San Antonio. They owe their existence to the Southern Pacific Railroad, which cut through the area en route to major cities like San Antonio and Houston. The train tracks certainly giveth, but they also taketh away. On February 25th of 2020, a semi-truck was driving through Cibolo when it got stuck on the elevated train tracks. Try as you might, the driver couldn't get the truck to budge. He ran away at the last second as an oncoming train obliterated his big rig.
Now the railroad things are coming. Here he comes. Oh. Oh. That's why you don't crossings. Holy shit. On a good note, I needed to make a ride up here, and he just cleared that for me. So I can keep going.
Thanks to Google Earth, we can look from the opposite side of the tracks. Notice how steep the road gets as it goes over the tracks. Cars can clear it without issue. In fact, the cab of this semi-truck cleared it just fine. It's the middle section that gave him trouble. It bottomed out on the tracks, making it impossible to move the truck. Anyway, it's hard to determine who's at fault here, but thankfully both the train and truck driver were okay. Hiawatha, Iowa is a small city north of Cedar Rapids. It's home to a few thousand people, making it relatively safe and easy to patrol for the local police department. When something does happen, they can respond immediately. On July 20th of 2022, 2 officers responded to a call near the train tracks in Hiawatha. Someone needed medical attention, so our officers waited by the ambulance while EMTs did their thing. That's when they heard a train leaning on its horn. They didn't think anything of it until they saw a white car rolling toward the tracks.
A47, we have a PI, car versus train. This is unrelated to our call. This is something that happened in front of us, County. Just stay back. Everybody get back.
By some miracle, the 50-year-old woman behind the wheel only suffered minor injuries. She was taken to the hospital where she made a full recovery. She's lucky police and paramedics were literally down the street. Police believe alcohol may have been involved in some way. How else could something like this happen? She likely fell asleep behind the wheel and rolled over the tracks at the worst possible moment. In the age-old battle of train versus car, the train always wins. Redding, California is a small town in Shasta County, about 162 miles north of Sacramento. It's home to about 95,000 people living along the Sacramento River. The location has made Redding the economic center of the Shasta Cascade region. Trains constantly come in and out. On October 4th of 2023, a 25-year-old man from Washington got stuck while driving over the railroad tracks near Breslauer Way. And just when things couldn't get any worse, he heard the ominous sound of the incoming train. According to police, the driver tried desperately to move the truck, but it wouldn't budge. He would have made it if not for the low-clearance trailer he was pulling and the Caterpillar wheel loader he had on top. The train sent the tractor flying into the crossing arm, causing significant damage. The train itself belonged to the Union Pacific Railroad. For some reason, nobody called to notify the railroad that a tractor was stuck on the tracks. The driver didn't know until he came around the bend. By then, it was too late. Thankfully, nobody got hurt during the crash. The only damage was to the train's front end, and obviously, the semi-truck. The collision did shut down the intersection for several days, which was a major headache for the locals. Wingate, North Carolina has a problem with train crashes. In January of 2023, 2 semi-trucks got stuck on the tracks and were struck by oncoming trains. 1 is a random occurrence, 2 is a coincidence, 3 times, and we have a problem. On June 8th of 2023, a 3rd semi-truck got stuck on the tracks near Wingate University. It was hauling a trailer full of bricks when it tried to drive over the elevated tracks. One of the gears got caught and nothing could get the truck unstuck. Nothing other than a speeding train.
Yo!
According to reports, our truck drivers were arrested after police found open alcohol containers and drug paraphernalia in the car. One local who heard the crash said it sounded like thunder outside her tattoo parlor. She'd been there about 5 years and had seen about 15 trucks get stuck on those tracks. At this point, how has nobody done anything about it? Well, that might be because raising the road is the only way to solve the problem. It would cost about $1 million and cause massive traffic headaches while the crews worked. A simple "No trucks allowed" sign might also do the trick. Have you ever wondered how the government spends your tax dollars? What if we told you the Department of Transportation likes to spend that money by crashing trains into log trucks? Obviously, they do it in the name of driver safety. As we've seen, plenty of semi-trucks get stuck on train tracks. The DOT wants to ensure train operators are kept safe during a collision. So in the early 2000s, the DOT asked, what would happen if a train traveling at 50 miles per hour T-boned a fully loaded log truck? Well, this would happen. The train cuts like a knife through butter, and if you thought that was cool, wait until you see it in slow motion. The logs fly like splintered popsicle sticks. It's incredible how little the truck moves after being struck by a 50-mile-per-hour train. The rear angle is cool, but it's basically what we've already seen. Wait until you see the top down. The train blasts through the logs effortlessly. It never shakes or rattles, meaning it can withstand the impact without derailing. The DOT also determined that the crew inside the lead car would be perfectly safe. For the next test, the DOT wanted to see what would happen if a train crashed head-on into stationary boxcars. Their test footage doesn't disappoint. The train's forward momentum carries it up and over the stationary car. Let's check that out again in slow motion. The speeding train crushes the rear car. Its front grille acts like a ramp, propelling the train up instead of off to the side. The entire front car almost makes it over before the train finally stops. The DOT's final report doesn't clarify the damage inside the speeding train. Judging by this impact, we don't think the test dummy was having a good time. Greer, South Carolina, is a small city split between Greenville and Spartanburg counties. Back in October of 2007, a woman named Betsy was lost on her way to a friend's house. This was before smartphones were really popular, so it's not like she could have just punched it into the GPS. She arrived at a railroad crossing shortly after midnight. While on the phone with her friend, she took what she thought was a left turn. Her car wound up stuck on the tracks. Lucky for her, Sergeant Marcus O. Shields was driving by and saw her panicking. It took some convincing, but he finally got her out of the car. Lucky for them, it was in the nick of time.
Man, come on, get back. Come on, get back. Get back, come on. Come on, get back.
Thank you.
The gravity of the situation didn't hit Betsy until she watched her car explode into a million tiny pieces. The Amtrak train was going about 72 miles per hour when it struck her vehicle. Betsy's tiny car burst into flames. All she could do was cry and thank Sergeant O'Shields for saving her. The train was en route from New Orleans to New York City. There were 180 passengers on board, but only 3 suffered minor injuries. Betsy may have lost her car, but she owes Sergeant O'Shields her life. Guys, we have come to the end of the video. Thank you for watching the video for so long patiently. If you enjoy this video, you can like and comment. And if you want to see such strange and interesting videos, you can subscribe to our channel and ring the bell icon next to it. See you in the next video. Until then, stay healthy, stay well. Thank you.